definitely much colder. I haven't had time to get out here and do a damn thing in about a week. I came out here, last Sunday, and it's now Saturday. So, we're pretty much still in the same spot. We got nothing else done there. Let's see. So I got to get that ground down, cleaned up, and, just make it look quasi-pretty. All right. Now we get to move in here. It's actually funny because I plumb forgot about this. So we got to move in here, get this stuff cut out, and kind of figure out what's going on here. So that'll probably be what we're going to work on today. It's probably working on this guy, trying to figure out how far back I need to cut, what I need to do here. This thing, I'm sure I'm going to have to cut some more of this out. I got, more seam seal to deal with. There's a chunk of rust. So, there's a lot more to do over here. So, I guess that's what I want to work on today. Try and figure out what in the world's going on there, because honestly, I got no clue. There's like 3 or 4 different layers of metal floating around right there. Yeah, that ought to be fun. But, it's only metal, so I can start hacking on it. That's inner... So that's just like, metal on the inside, so I don't have to worry about actually messing up something on the outside. Worst case, if I screw it up and totally make it ugly as homemade sin, I can just cover it up with carpet. So that's what, I guess that's what we're going to work on today is this nastiness down here. Yeah, I'm not sure where to start on that, but we'll get into it here in just a few minutes. First off, I got to get back over there on that corner over there and go ahead and get that ground down and cleaned up, make it look, halfway decent. And that way I can go ahead and say that part's done. And it'll truly be done. So, may not be 100% straight. Whoops. So anyhow, I guess I'm gonna get the grinder and stuff out and do that. I'm not gonna film that because it's just, slinging some sparks around, hitting it with the flap disc, and then trying to clean it up as best I can. So anyways, I'm gonna go knock that out real fast, and then I guess I'll join back with y'all inside the truck. Somehow I got a lot of stuff to move and figure out how in the world I'm gonna work, because trying to worm my way around that door opening is kind of a pain. But I've also got to move, all this. Of course, this stuff's great to be sitting right here where I'm fixing to start cutting and grinding on metal, I'll have to move that somewhere else. But anyways, I'll catch back up with y'all here in just a moment. All right, that's better. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Still a little, still got a little wave to it. I ended up having to run another bead, grind it down, and then 2 more beads on either side of it to try to bring this out. Still got a little dip to it right in here. That's okay. It'll kind of match this one with its little dip. So no big deal there. All right, onto this front part. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that one yet. Alrighty, well, I got to get the seam seal out, so we're going to start cooking that real fast, and I'm going to scrape it out and then start digging into this guy. Alright, so seam seal's out of the way. So I think what I'm going to do, I might go ahead and pull seam seal out all the way back here, and then just take this and cut this back. So let me do that. All right, now that's cut out, got all that crap out of the way. I think I'm gonna take, I think we're just gonna cut her back right here. Just cut it right in this area. And I'm gonna take this across and come on out and see what we got to deal with once I get this big spot cut out. Try cutting with this little guy because he's just easier to deal with. Try to. Being the keyword. It's a really difficult operating angle here. There's just no good way to get to anything. Alrighty, so looks like what we got is let's see if I can't get myself in a position here. So this piece is basically just another C-shaped. It goes up underneath here, and I'm guessing is spot welded into this piece. It's really hard to tell, but that's kind of what it looks like. The piece behind here is really not in bad shape. Man, this is just really difficult to work around. Ow. If there wasn't a floor in the truck, I could probably work on it a hell of a lot easier. Anyhow, so that's definitely the worst of it. It's not as thick a metal as what's in the back, so that's nice. Yeah. Well, no, that ain't connected. Okay. I can see it wiggling down there. So, let's see what else we got to cut back here to get that knocked loose. Maybe there's a little spot weld. Doesn't look like it though. All right. So that's a piece of the floor. Let me look at it from underneath. So this is where it gets to be really fun. So it looks like I need to go ahead and cut. I need to go ahead and cut this piece off all the way down this flange, which will then open this piece up. And I'm guessing that this guy's going to be, yeah, there's a spot weld right there. So I'm guessing he spotted in. And then this piece as well, I need to get down in there. So, it's in really tight quarters, so it's really difficult to get in there with anything right now. So, well, let's see what we can't do here. Let me zip this piece off real fast. There's no room. Well, let's see if I can stress it and break it off this way. There we go. There we go. All right, so now we got that. Probably need to shave a little bit more off of this because I still have some pretty heavy scale right in there. You know what? Let me get the drill with the wire wheel and try cleaning this up a little bit. Okay, so this piece can come on out. All right, let's just try knocking her out. And once again, there's just no way to get a swing because everything's just in a really bad spot. Alright, now let's see if we can't get some cutting. Of course, everything's still in the way. It is hard as all get out to figure out where to go with this. All right, now we're just going to try to get some of this crap out of the way by any means necessary. Which means air chisel. Where's my stool? Oh, this is just some good old-fashioned butchery I'm doing right here. God almighty. Come on. There we go. Jesus. Alrighty, so now we can get a little bit better idea of what's going on back here. Little bit of rust back there, but nothing terrible. It is really difficult to work over here. But, so what we've got is this back piece right here where my thumb is. This piece is actually in good shape. This edge is not, as you can tell, because it's literally flaking. So I guess what I'm gonna do is just try and figure out a way to cut this piece off. I've also still got some rust right here. Yeah, so there's a spot right here that's not good. So I may need to cut this on out, you know, come on out just another ½ inch or so. And cut that out. Yeah, this is really difficult to work in this little spot because, well, I'm having to reach around all this and trying to get two hands in there. I'm literally having to reach in there like this, and it's creating its own challenge. But, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is go through, cut probably another ½ inch off of this guy right in here, cut maybe another ½ inch off of that, and then see if I can get that back piece just lopped off, because then all I have to do is just drill a hole where the I don't know if that's a support or maybe that's just where the inner fender or the wheel well bolts up. I can't remember. I think that's just where the wheel well bolts up. So got to get that done. So I think that's what I'm going to do is try cutting that out and getting that part kind of out of the way. But like I said, it is a challenge just trying to get back there and kind of do what you got to do, because it's a lot of contortionist things going on right now, and I'm not that flexible. So anyhow, I'll get back to this and I'll catch back up here in just a second. Not the straightest cut I've ever made. Oh my God, there's no place to go with this shit. Kind of cut a small hole there. Guess I'll have to weld that up. All right, so got the rust cut out over here. I may have bent this a little bit when I was trying to cut that out. Trying to get down and cut this piece without removing this wheel well is a real pleasure. So, so I just used the air chisel to just go ahead and just, you know, not so much cut it, but, you know, butcher it. So it ain't there anymore, but God almighty, it is ugly as all get out back here. But I can get this straightened up a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely falling downhill now, right here on this back corner. I do have good access from underneath, so I can get up underneath here and do some work to try to get this leveled back up, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. Pretty much just, you know, hammer and something just to kind of knock this up a little bit. So that shouldn't be a problem. The big problem I think I'm going to run into is none of my cuts are straight. This is just, God, this is just a terrible spot to work. But the good news is all I've really got to do is just make basically a flanged square for right here. That's pretty much it. So that's not too difficult. I'm not sure. This definitely isn't 16 gauge because it's definitely not as thick as what's in the back. So I'm guessing it's probably 18. So I think I have some scrap 18 laying around. So I'll have to make up a little template and a little square for this. But yeah, there's just some more cleanup stuff I need to do. You know, I got some really nasty edges floating around in here. And then also clean up the rest of the seam seals. There's still some seam seal floating around. And try to straighten up some of this rust. And then obviously I'll cut that, but I'll fix that later. So yeah, that is a pain in the butt right there in that little corner. I'm gonna have a cramp in my back from working on this. But yeah, here's a different point of view from it. So that's pretty much all it is. Technically doing it with a see if I can get my hands held right so I can point and show y'all guys at the same time. How about like that? No. All right, so now you can kind of see a little bit better what's going on over here. So this side is flanged, so I got to make this piece actually overlaps all the way back to here. So this piece will have to, technically I guess I could get away with probably just making a big, you know, big square piece and slapping it in there and being done with it. Not quite the way this thing's supposed to go together. This guy is flanged on the back to bolt up to the wheel well. It's not so much flanged over here. This guy is actually flanged to go up against the inner fender, or the inner bed side, I guess you would say. So, so technically I need to make a piece that goes here and then a piece that goes here. Both of them are flanged and they just overlap right here. And then, you know, whenever I first did this patch panel here, I really screwed up the measurements on it, or my floor is just not in the right spot. It could be either one. So I do still need to make a little patch panel that just kind of falls down in here and closes this little gap up, which isn't that bad. I mean, we're talking maybe an inch up here at the top, and then I can pretty much stitch this up to almost halfway just with you know, stacking welds on top of each other. So I got to get in here, clean up some more of this seam seal crap, clean up some rust. Then basically this guy's going to be the same metal as this guy, so they're both, I'm guessing, 18. I've got some scrap 18 floating around. So it's just a lot of cleaning up all this stuff and then making a patch that'll bolt or weld in right here and has a flange on it for over here, and then making up a piece that'll weld in right here and has a flange over here. So this guy will have to go in first, and then this guy will have to go in second. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna get to cleaning this stuff up. But first, it is supper time. So, okay. My little handle just collapsed on me for no reason. But it's supper time. I'm going to go in, get me a bite to eat. And then come back out here. Really, I guess it depends on how much I have to eat. But then get back out here and try to get back to it and try to get it finished out tonight. I don't know if I will. That's a lot of stuff to get knocked out in a really short period of time. But if not, I'll come back out first thing in the morning and try to knock it out. So anyways, I'm gonna get some food. I'll be right back. All right, got a full belly. Little peanut butter jelly action. So just did some measuring, and what we got, I know this is kind of crude, but you can kind of see what we're working with here. So the top edge, this piece, this is 3 1/4 inches wide. I need a 1 1/2 inch flange for right over in here. And then this goes from a 3 5/8 to a 3 1/2 taper to it. So, you know, good and straight line. And then on this piece, we have 2 1/2 inches wide up here. I'm still not 100% sure if I ought to go ahead and cut this part out as well, since it's pretty crunchy right there. But this is 2 1/2 inches wide, and this also has a 1 1/2 inch flange, which goes down into here, and the distance from here to here is 3 3/4 inch, and it's actually pretty square. So I don't know, let me that right there I totally missed, so I may end up just cutting, since this thing's kind of butchered anyways right in here because it's pretty rotted. I may go ahead and just cut this out maybe a little bit lower. If I get my camera lined up here, maybe cut this out just below the weld, because this is good metal here. Just cut this below the weld and then come on back and take this piece on out and just cut a whole new piece to go in right here, and just have to weld right here. So let me see how bad this metal is. Well, since I'm pushing it out with my fingernail, it's pretty bad. Huh. Yeah, I guess I'm doing more cutting. I'll be right back. Wow, that's a deep one. So, I still got to cut down right there, and there's just no good way to do it. And I can't tell if I absolutely butchered that or if it's just that fragile down there that it ripped. I think I butchered it. There, let's do that. Do I just put the Sawzall in there? I think I'll get the Sawzall. Good God. Wow, totally missed. All right, in case you couldn't tell, my level of giving a damn went down exponentially as I went on with this. So I did kind of butcher it up. Right in there, but that's just, it just drops off right there. So I'm just going to cut that little lip off right there, make my life a little bit easier, and we'll grab the flange. I'll get that little guy ground off and straighten this edge up a little bit. Try and clean it up, but it ain't going to miss this little inch and a half worth of material right there. I am not that concerned with it. I'll put a little bead in right there, try to clean that up where I cut into it with the Sawzall. Can't tell if I got any more cuts into it. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I can't quite see. Yeah, it looks like I did. That guy in there, I ain't worried about that little guy in there. So now I'm just going to replace this whole piece, and then that little guy right there is sharp. Again, my curse of not being able to cut a straight freaking line comes back in to haunt me. But anyways, maybe I'll come back and try to clean this up a little bit. I don't know. I'm quickly getting aggravated because this is a very uncomfortable spot to be in. We're probably just gonna, I mean, I don't want to say I'm gonna half-ass it, but we're probably gonna 3/4 ass this because I'm just, oh my God, I'm going out of my skull here. So I'm gonna get in here and clean up a little bit and try to make this look halfway decent, I suppose. Maybe I'll get fancy with it. And since this is kind of hacked up a little bit, I guess I'll try and straighten this up a little bit because that ain't gonna take a weld worth a damn. And it's, like I said, extremely sharp. I already cut my hand on it really good just a little while ago. So I'll probably try and take and just cut that little piece off and then take it all the way back out here and then figure out what I need for height and all that wonderfulness. So I guess I'm gonna get on that. That's better. New measurements in place. That's all ready to go, I suppose. Looks like, you know, of course, we got a 2.5 inch wide top. We got about a 1 inch right here. Of course, 1.5 inch on this side of the flange. And then from here to here, 8 3/4 inch. So, although that 1 inch flange only has to go to 5, let's call that 5 7/16, 5 3/8, 5 3/8. Now we got a game plan. Still gotta straighten that up where I bent that down. No big deal there. I'll get a 2x4 and a hammer. I should be able to knock that straight. So I'll get that and I'll be right back. So we got all this stuff kind of cleaned up and ready to go-ish. This guy, I tried knocking it straight, but you can kind of see there's kind of a crown mark here where it tends to fall downhill back here. Up here's pretty level. Back here, it's still kind of falling downhill. I can't get my 2x4 in right here. This welded in nut is kind of keeping me from doing that. So I'll have to get something a little narrower to fit in there. Try to get this guy, you know, squared up and straightened up as best I can. And I still got to get in here and clean out, you know, the rust and the, there's not really a whole lot of rust. Most of it's seam seal that's just rust colored. But gotta get all that cleaned up and get that stuff ready to go. But it's getting kind of late, so I'm gonna call it for tonight. I'll probably get back out here in the morning and do a little bit, but tomorrow's Sunday, edit day. So I don't know how much I'm gonna get done, but we'll try and get some more stuff done and get as much of this buttoned up this week as we can. Because man, I'd really like to get the floor back in this thing. Start moving on to other stuff. God, I'm tired of floors. Feels like it's all I've done on this truck. Anyways, so I guess I will see you guys in the morning. Alrighty, and we're back. I'm not sure the last day I worked on this. It's been a little crazy. So if I remember correctly, we left off, I just cut all this stuff out. So I guess what I've still got to do is get this guy bent straight and kind of, let's see if I can't get a good angle here. You can kind of see it's got a little crest to it right there. So I got to get that straightened out. And I think what I'm going to do, because Jackson ain't here, he's out and about doing teenager things. And so I think what I'm going to do is get the floor jack out, put a 2x4 on it, and jack it up to kind of put some pressure on it, and I guess just beat on the top. So maybe that'll get it straightened up, and we'll see how that works. So I'll be right back. Well, that's a lot better. It's still not quite perfect, but it's definitely better than it was. So I guess next step is going to be start cleaning this crap up, getting all this seam seal out, a little bit of rust, and all that stuff. Just kind of getting that all cleaned up and making it look like something. And then we'll get to making some patch panels. All right, that's about as clean as she's going to get. I still got a little bit of a spot weld hanging out right here, so I got to figure out how to get that out of there. But other than that, we're pretty well ready to go. Maybe a little bit more cleanup to do, but it's pretty close. So I'll get in here with some sandpaper or something and try to get the rest of this crap out. But I'd say we're pretty close on this. Like I said, I still got to get that little guy out. So we got these two spot welds to take care of. This one's not real bad. This one's pretty bad. Since you can't really get in here with anything, I'm just going to use a little die grinder bit. I'm not sure what you call those. Deburn bit, something like that. I'm just going to use this guy because I can actually get in here and do stuff with this. So I'm going to do that real fast. All right, that is much better. So those are out of the way. I guess one thing I do need to work on is kind of straightening this bottom lip up. And I still have a little bit of a tag hanging out over here that you can't really see because it's back up underneath here. I'm not sure how I'm going to get that guy out of there, but I need to square that up because it comes out about that far. But I don't know. I'll figure that one out here in just a minute. But anyways, so this is all pretty well ready to go. Mine is just a little bit, like I said, just a little bit of straightening up down here. Everything's been cleaned pretty well, or as good as it's going to get. And then I'm going to get a little bit of, I'm going to get some weld through primer and shoot it down on here. That way there's at least a covering on this. Plus I got to spot weld back this piece whenever I get it put in. They don't spot weld to this guy because it's held in with a bolt. So, and I think in my when I was earlier talking about this patch panel that goes here, it actually goes up and it has a flange that comes down here and a flange here. So it ties all this stuff into the wheel well. So there'll be a flange on this part, a flange on this part, and a flange over here. So lots of flanges. So I guess I'm gonna try to figure out what to do here on this little piece that y'all can't see, and then straighten this stuff up a little bit, and then I guess get to making up a patch panel. Well, it turns out I'm out of weld through primer. Yay! So I guess what I'm gonna do is just use some self-etching and just, I guess, scratch off a spot that I need to spot weld in. Alrighty, so rather than just guess on what the gauge is on this, I got my little gauge thing from my welder, and yeah, that came out to, that says 18 there, but it says 16 there, so I'm guessing maybe that's just a little thin. Let's see what she says over here. Yeah, Yeah, it's coming up as 16. Dang. All right, so I guess this is 16 gauge. I would have thought that was 18. It didn't seem as thick as the other stuff, so. Who would have thunk it? All right, so here's where we are now. We've got everything pretty well cut out and ready to go. Finally found a piece of cardboard that I think is going to work. It may not be quite long enough, but we'll address that later. So, got a piece of cardboard that should work to make some templates out of. I've still got 16 gauge left over from doing the rear, that tail pan. So I've still got plenty of that left over, so that's no problem there. I could have swore that was 18 gauge though, but whatever. So anyhow, with it being Thanksgiving week, I was hoping I was gonna have a lot of time to really get ahead and try to get a few videos ahead, but it just didn't work out that way. So here we are. It's Sunday, midday-ish. Still got editing to finish up and get everything uploaded, so I'm gonna have to call this one for this week. But next week, we'll get back on it. We'll get the templates made up, get some metal cut out, and get that thing welded up. Then we will attack the nastiness that is seam seal and all the boogered up metal that I left in my wake along the fender wells or the wheel wells and along the edges of the bed, cleaning this guy up, getting all this stuff ready so that way I can get the bed floor put together, get the cross members put on it, and get it ready to drop in. So so that'll wrap us up for this week. Now, a little different subject. We're fixing to hit a year on the Good Enough Customs channel. So I guess, what is that? Tuesday, I think, is the day after the video drops. That'll be 1 year. So I'll fall just a little bit short of my goal. My goal was to, have 1,000 subs by the 1 year mark. We're going to miss that at this point in time. We're going to miss that by about 47, I think. 47 subs. No big deal. Not really disappointed. It's been a good time. I'm glad each and every one of y'all guys that are tuning in every week do so. It means a lot. It means a ton. But it did give me an idea. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, you know what? Some folks may want to see some of the stuff that I've done, this past year. Maybe kind of want to like a recap on it or kind of a revisit. We got Jeremy's truck. We got my buddy Travis's 4Runner. Did some work on Caden's truck. Of course, y'all guys know this guy pretty well. Y'all know Steve, y'all know Big John. Those guys are pretty good. They need some little stuff to them now, but just general maintenance stuff. But, would y'all guys like to see that? If so, just drop me a comment down below. Say, yeah, sure, I'd like to see it. And as a matter of fact, even throw out there, what would you like to see a follow-up on? Because I was thinking about it. I was like, it might be pretty cool to kind of go back, see how Jeremy's doing with his truck. See if Travis ever got the 4Runner fixed. If you remember back, that thing had a fuel injector stuck and was filling up a cylinder full of gas. And it was wintertime when we did that, and it was really cold, and that guy was running or just shut off whenever we shot gasoline halfway across the shop. And that could have ended really badly. So anyhow, drop a comment below. Let me know if that's something y'all would want to see. And if so, what would be one of the trucks you want to see it on, see about it. And I'll try and put that together. So anyways, I do appreciate each and every one of y'all guys and gals that tune in and check it out. Be sure, tell friends, family, neighbors, enemies, strangers on the street, co-workers, whatever. Tell them about the channel if they like old junk and seeing a guy that kind of might know part of what he's doing. Most of the time I have no clue. But if they want to see some guy kind of, working on crap, tell them tune in, check it out. So anyways, so thanks again for tuning in. And just remember, guys and gals, it ain't got to be perfect, just good enough. And we'll see y'all next week.